In here for irishboxing.com with Showtime Sonny Edwards. Sonny, first off, great to have you here in Ireland. How is things going while you're here?
Yeah, everything's been really good. Spent the last week, the last 4 days training. Got a lot of sparring. Did a few rounds today, yesterday, and the day before. So yeah, it's been nice.
You in the Coliseum gym with Jay Hughes and the lads, and you're with Pete Taylor as well. How was that? Obviously, a new change up of training really, and coming across the water to train. How was that?
Yeah, I mean, I've always sort of loved exploring the world through the boxing gyms. I think anytime I go on holiday or go anywhere in the world, at usually some point in the week, the 10 days or whatever I'm there, I've found my way into a gym, and I seem to make friends pretty much everywhere I go. So it's always nice to go back. Obviously, it's my first time coming over to Dublin.
First time in Ireland or just first time in Dublin?
No, I've been in Ireland before.
Oh, you're in Belfast. You're fighting in Belfast before. Was it Dublin that you were fighting in before?
No, Belfast I fought in. But years ago I fought in Cork when I was an amateur. Yeah. And you know them DNA ancestry things.
Yeah.
I've got family rooted to Cork apparently.
Okay,
So
well.
maybe it was quite fit.
Have you explored that at all? Going down to Cork, or have you been exploring it?
Nah, not really. I'll be real. Since I've been here, I've kind of just been centered around boxing.
Just boxing.
Yeah, because obviously, hopefully, I've got a big fight coming up by the end of the year, and regardless, obviously, I'm back on the horse and making sure I'm making the most of my time. Yeah.
So I seen an Instagram story there the last day of yourself. You said it's unlike you training twice a day. Is that something you're still keeping up today? Are you going for another session today or?
Oh no! I'll be real, but yeah, that was the first time in probably about
Years,
3 years that I've trained twice in the same day. So, shout out to Giorgio Visioli for inspiring that one. I was trying to chill by the hotel bar, but he went, "Nah, let's go and get another session."
Just talking about Giorgio, obviously an unreal prospect. Made his debut November 25th in the Tree Arena. Just talk to me how you picked up Giorgio and how things going so far.
Do you know what? With Giorgio, he's someone that I had my eye on just following his career. I remember Repton posting about him when he won both his national titles. And obviously I was a Repton boy, so obviously I've had them on all the social medias, and I remember seeing England Boxing posting a video when he spanned the corner and it just looked phenomenal. So that was a few years ago, and then we got introduced by Lee in a boxing show, and I sat with him, I spoke with him, and he was asking really all the right questions. Just with me, when an amateur boxer comes to me, like whether I've known them for years or they're just meeting them brand new, I feel, in my opinion, I've got a responsibility to just be 100% honest, and whether my centre of where my perspective is a good one or not, I guess is that up to them to decide. So yeah, we spoke for a bit, we kept in contact. He actually came down and stayed for a few days as well at my house. Did some training up in Sheffield. It didn't quite work out. But yeah, I've been supporting him and following him ever since. And yeah, really just sort of gravitated around each other. And now, the fight weeks and like, especially like out here, like neither of us are fighting, but being able to spend time and training, that is spot on. And, you saw him today. I don't think I'm overselling him when I say, bear in mind he's a 4-0 prospect, 21 years old.
You in boxing as well? You in professional boxing or
And he's a super featherweight, and he doesn't blow up. He walks around like 4 pounds overweight. Like he's a consummate professional. He, has centered his whole life around preparing to be a fighter. So I'm still trying to find out work out his vices. He's like so far he's the only person I've ever met that's not really addicted to anything. You know what I mean? So it's mad. It's mad. But he's so centered around boxing. He loves the rounds. Like he had some good rounds with Sean McComb on Tuesday, and then me and him did 6 rounds yesterday. Worked on a few things, and then he's done 8 rounds again today. So and he's enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it. It's been a great week in Dublin.
Just talk to me about the last fight, obviously, that you had. Things didn't go to plan at all, really, and that caught above your head, obviously, and it was unfortunate. But what's Sonny going to do now to come back? Is there a comeback trail that's coming on for Sonny Edwards?
Oh, obviously, I still won every round. I still got the decision. It was more just disappointing that the stage was set perfectly. I was in a massive arena with prestige. I was in front of 13,000 fans.
What's that like fighting such of a big crowd?
Yeah, I relish it. I'll be real. Like, even if I'm not the guy that they want to win, it doesn't matter to me. So, like, the sort of the jeers and the boos and the cheers and whatever, they're more. That's more pantomime for me. I need to get in there. I need to win.
Do you ignore it? Do you listen to that? Or do you ignore it when?
If anything, I speak back with them.
Yeah.
Like, I was, trying to
Yeah.
get them animated.
Yeah.
I was trying to get them to bring the energy into the fight, and apart from the head clash and obviously the doctor stopping it when he did. That was the only disappointing thing for me, because, like I said to everyone all in the build up, and I said to the matchroom cameras, and I know they kept editing it out. A year ago, I said, okay, I'll fight him, and they went, no, he's not good enough. About Curio when I boxed in London, I boxed Campos. They went, Campos is better than him. I went, whatever. Like, I don't care. They're both the same person to me. So I fought Campos, and then all of a sudden, someone that wasn't good enough to get in the ring with me a year ago is now who I'm fighting, and they're trying to pretend like it's a big fight because he held a version of a world title at one point. Like, but I knew I was gonna beat him. But because of what people have been trying to get me to do in the ring over the last few years, where I've kind of fallen away maybe from my bread and butter, that makes me almost nearly impossible to really win rounds again. I was more boxing on instruction and discipline and maybe respect for him, that I feel like I didn't even need to show him, like, that Sonny that fought Bam for 7 rounds and sort of went toe to toe, after the second before the end of the fight at the end of the night. Even though I didn't come out the man in that fight, people didn't think that version of me existed, but that was coming in that fight, and I was kind of just a bit frustrated that I didn't get to finish against a much weaker opponent, and at this point he was frustrated, he was tired, he was like, and I thought a couple of times I was catching him, I was hurting him enough without trying to know that if I started letting my hands go and trying to actually sink in some clean backhands and that, then I don't know, I felt like I could have hurt him. So it was just a bit frustrating really, because the stage was set. But apart from that, no comeback for me. I've won that. I've won pretty much every round really of most of my boxing career, and my confidence is as high as ever, if I'm honest.
Just one last question. We'd love to see you back here in Ireland fighting. Do you think we could make that happen anytime soon with Sonny Edwards coming back maybe to the Trey Arena and get a fight on it, if that's possible? Or if we can talk to Eddie and say, listen, Eddie, big shows are coming back here to Ireland, and obviously it's great to see Irish boxing coming back in such a passion, and Eddie bringing shows back to Dublin, but could we see Sonny Edwards on one of them shows maybe?
I'll be real, I'll fight anywhere, so I think it more depends on what makes the most sense, and if there's a fighter that gets built up from these sides of the waters, then 100%, like, every time I've had any sort of big fight, it's been talked about away. You know what I mean? No one ever wants to come to me. No one ever wants to come to Sheffield, and they don't want to do it. But because I actually enjoy traveling the world with boxing, I'll be real. Like, the 4 weeks I managed to spend in Arizona over my last 2 fights has been some of the best weeks of my life. Do you know what I mean? And some of the best memories. And genuinely, I love that feeling of my talent, my hard work, whatever you want to call it, taking me around the world.
It is hard work.
But taking me around the world, and being able to do and apply my craft in all corners of the world is something I want to do. And Republic of Ireland, the Royal Island, is where I would definitely love to have a fight, and I should have a long career left. I'm not looking at the exit anytime soon, to be honest.
You're still here and you're still making moves.
Yeah, I'll be real. Like, I don't really do anything else apart from boxing, so it's kind of easy for me. Like, every conversation I have in my business or my, even half the time my private life is boxing related.
Do you find that annoying in a way, or do you like that?
If I'm perfectly honest, as long as I'm hearing new things to talk about, then I love it. It's when I see people and their one question with me is, I don't know, something like, who's going to win, AJ or Fury, or something I've had to speak about and think about. I mean, if I'm being perfectly honest, that's me. Like, if there's something else, a new fight to talk about, or another fighter coming through, because I manage a lot of fighters now, so I'm constantly on the push out of trying to get them opportunities, trying to get what's next. So, but I wouldn't say it keeps me distracted, but it's how I would choose to spend my time.
Okay. Sonny, on that one, I really appreciate talking to IrishBoxing.com. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, bro. Thank you.